on, Big Ben?
What's up, brother?
Shout out to Big Ben, first guest of the show. Welcome to the list. Welcome to the list. Episode 1, first guest, Big Ben, Espin
What's up, y'all?
So what we have here is a 4-door EF. What year?
91.
91. Tell us, tell everybody about yourself and like how you got into the car scene, or like what made you get into the cars.
Man, I felt like I always been around cars a lot. My older cousins got me into it a lot. And, just a lot of homies that we've been around in the days where, when you get your first car, when you get your first license and all that, you just want to be like, man, I'm trying to drive. So,
From what I remember, when I first met you, you started off with a silver EF hatch at what age?
I think I was like 14, 15.
14, 15. And let's talk about like the beginning of getting that silver hatch, that silver EF. Like,
Man, that was my very first car, man. I really wasn't supposed to be ended up in a Honda. I was going to get a Corolla, honestly. But, man, this car was so cheap. It was for $1,200. And my uncle that took me to go get it, he was just like, man, this car's a bucket. You don't want this car. And I was like, man, I really want it, man. And then, we didn't end up getting it. But then while we were driving off, we got a call back talking about, yo, we can get it you for cheaper. Because I think he wanted like 1,800, and he got it. We got it for like 1,200.
1,200. So 1,200, and this is a shell, or did it have a motor? What kind of motor? Like, did it,
It
have
was
the,
it was a running car. It had a dual cam ZC in there, which is like from the older Integras, like the 87s.
Yeah, ZC, yeah.
Yeah. So I had that in there, man. That thing was moving for what it is, during our time. So that was kind of tight.
And then so let's fast forward to why you got rid of it and how you ended up getting the black EFSI hatch.
Man, I got rid of it because you know me, it wasn't too sentimental to me, but like I always wanted to get a classic car, so I just ended up trading that for a Buick Regal.
Okay.
And
So when you got the Buick Regal,
I still had the Buick Regal at the time, and then that second car that I bought was another EF hatch, which was the SI as well.
and you started building that from then.
Yeah, but it had a lot of potential, and I seen the guys build from back in the day, because when NWP had like Project Threads, and like Honda Tekken had all that. He had his, and I was like, man, this car had a lot of potential still, and I had the love for EF, so that's how I ended up getting that black car.
So what did you do, like when the black EF finally got to your hands? What all did you do to it?
Man, it was low-key kind of torn up. It was like, I guess you could say it was just sitting in someone's backyard.
So you got it half built.
Yeah, it was built up, but it just been sitting like neglected, broken windshield, messed up front end, seats is torn up, and you know what you do when you buy a car, you bring it to the house, vacuum it up, wash it up, make it look better than what it is, and then you just start from there and see what else you could do to that project.
Okay. So now that let's not take up any more time, but let's now go on to how you got to this, and what was the reason of, because you had two Civic hatchbacks, and what made you want to go to a 4-door?
Man, I'm gonna be honest with you. I never really wanted a hatch. I always wanted to build a 4-door, but man, these things were the things I wanted to do with it. Most of the parts was kind of hard to find.
Yeah.
Like the front end back in the days, like I was young. I didn't have money like that. Like I was only making like $8.55 an hour, building a little Honda. You know what I'm saying? But like when you get older and older now, things start changing. You get find ways to make more income. I'm a barber, by the way, and I was cutting hair. Yeah, I was cutting hair in the garage, and that's how I was also making my money to
That's
be
how it all started.
yeah, pay the bills to build this what I got right now, and just working on side work on other people's cars and stuff, and that's how it went.
All right. So, so now that you're a barber and you've been cutting for
I've been cutting for a long time, man, since I was like 17.
17, and
Yeah,
you got this car. How long have you owned the sedan?
I purchased this car around 2016, 17 from the homie Thomas, and man, it had a lot of potential. It was just an all original stock car. It was something I was driving around as a daily too, and I was like, man, I think it's ready to like finally do some stuff to it.
So you got a bone stock.
Uh,
You got a bone stock, and what was the first mod you did to it, or like what made you start doing things to put it the way it is right now with your own vision?
well, I still had my black hatch at the time too, but it was just parted out and everything. So I took a couple parts from it and kind of introduced it to this car right here. So like I have 5 lug, and I threw that on, and I had some suspension, and I threw that on, and then from there I was just driving it, and then you know just building it slowly, really.
Okay, and so you have 5 lug, and now you have 4 lug. I can see
Mm.
that. So what made you want to convert back to 4 lug?
Uh, my other brother, he likes EFs too, but we wanted to switch it up a little bit, and we had a buddy of ours um, sell us his, or no, he didn't sell it to us. We actually got a free wagon. It's an EF wagon, and we ended up putting that suspension on his car, and then we're still in the process of building that one. But that's how it ended up. Me ending up with 4 lug on this car.
And you're happy with the the way it's set up now with uh, Mugen M7s.
Yeah, I mean, we got hella homies, so we just be switching wheels all the time and stuff. But 4x100, everyone has 4x100, so it was something I just stuck with, and I liked it a lot.
All right, so tell me about the paint on the car. Like
Um,
you painted the car yourself, right?
so yeah, this is my very first paint job ever.
Inside and out.
Inside and out. This was behind in my parents' backyard, and it was something. You know, I was like, man, I'm gonna just try and do it on my own, and I'm not gonna lie, the first paint job came out pretty good. But there's some errors here and there. I touched it up here and there where I got a little better and learned some stuff. But I did take auto body for about uh like a quarter, but I dropped out because my mom was helping me pay for it, and I was like, man, this is too expensive. I didn't want
Yeah.
her to be paying for it, and me going to work and just it didn't feel right. So I dropped out, and I was like, man, I'm gonna just learn on my own.
So
So cutting hair was my main income while I was um, we're doing car stuff, and then you know, just from there.
so right now you're still a full time barber,
Hmm.
correct? Um, you also started your own club slash car, like a car club
Uh,
called Backyard Boogie. And like, what made you want to do that, or how that started out?
Man, where we got that name from was Jay Ryan and the homie Mai, cause you know they was doing it before our time, and they was doing it in their backyard, and they just called it backyard boogie when they're building cars in the backyard.
Yeah.
And then I was just I was like, man, I'm gonna just name it backyard boogie then, and just you know.
Yeah. So like he said, he painted this car in the backyard of his parents' house. So that's how they got Backyard Boogie. If you guys don't know Backyard Boogie, you can check them out. And then you also have, your little brothers in Backyard Boogie, correct?
Hmm. My brother's Derek, youngest one, Andrew, Adrian.
So if you guys don't know Backyard Boogie, you know that it mostly started off with EFs. So like, how is it and why is it that you guys are only mostly started off with a EF? Like, what is it? A family thing? Is there like a sentimental value to EFs?
Mm,
Because you have a EF sedan.
yeah.
Your brother has the EF wagon. One of the brothers. One has an EF hatch, and one has a CRX.
Man, I'm gonna be honest with you. It's because they were like one of the cheapest Hondas you can buy. Really, everyone didn't really care about EFs or like CRXs and stuff or
DAs,
DAs.
yeah.
People hate on them, So like,
You want to
I
prove
just
everybody wrong, and
yeah, kind of like show them up like like these are these have some potential. Like you don't even know.
yeah.
Like a lot of people be building EGs and Integras like that, but you know, not a lot of people build these kind of cars. But
For
when
me,
when they do, when I see them, I appreciate them because they're old cars, bro.
yeah, yeah.
88s
88 to
to like a
91.
91. Yes.
Yeah. EFDAs. So for
Mm-hmm.
me, I personally love EF and DAs because without these cars, there would never be a thing called B series. You know what I mean?
Yep.
That's what they first dropped in these cars. So I personally love EFs in general, and I love this guy's build. But let's talk about the swap. So how did you end up with the swap? It came with a stock D15 B2
Yeah, it was
DX
a
model, right?
yep. And then I had this B16 for a long time, man. And we ended up swapping it out and putting that in there, and it was a pretty good motor.
Was that the B16 from the black SI hatch?
No, this is a motor I purchased from some other homie back in the days, and it was just sitting for a long time, and I was like, man, this is finally ready to get put in after I painted up and stuff like that.
And there's a B16 in there now.
No, in here right now, this is my second motor in here. The last motor, which was a B16, I blew up. I split the cams when I was doing a pull, second gear, and it broke. And then we swapped that out and put in a built GSR.
So it's a build GSR now.
Hmm.
And let's talk about like what you do to it. What's done to it now?
I didn't do much to it because most of it was kind of built from the bottom end. I think it has Type R internals, and all I did was just change the cam out and put some Skunk 2 Pro 2 cams in there.
It's going to Pro 2 cam. So
Uh-huh.
internally, I can see externally, you got the bolt-ons, you got the, you know, intake, custom intake. You got the
Hmm.
Ultra. I see cam gears and catch can setup. You also did the coil conversion, the coil pack conversion,
Yep, the
right?
digital distributor.
And then how about the front end? Like, was this car already built with a US front end?
So before I built this, I wanted to piece the front end first, and that took me a long time because most of the parts you get from overseas, shipping is crazy, bro. It's like $500 for shipping just for like one little piece or for
One
like
little
a
piece, yeah.
headlight or like a hood or something like that. It's because they go by weight maybe, but uh, yeah, that's what took me a while.
And I know uh, they might not know, but I know for a while the car sat this way for a little while, and the newest thing you added was the front lip. Like, how'd you get the front lip, or what? How'd it
Um,
work out?
yeah. Well, my first lip, it was actually a custom lip I made. It was a EF lip and a DA lip combined together.
Molded?
Yeah, I you know, did some crazy thing where you like just plastic weld them together and like connect them together and just make it as one lip. But this lip now, I kind of like it. It just kind of switches up the style a little bit, but it still keeps it like that original
I feel you.
OEM look on the
Yeah.
sides and stuff. But this is a custom lip made from North Carolina from the homie 10 mil.
Okay, so let's talk about like the least favorite thing about this car, or like something that bothers you,
Man,
like the most right now. Like, what's something you
probably
want to work on, or something that kind of just grinds your gears?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I was racing this car a lot, so I think just the smell of it, bro. Cause every time when you do a pull, you can smell that. You can smell the pistons burning or something. Like you can smell it off my oil catch. It's like I know it's ready to go, but
That's a Honda, man, and
yeah,
it's gutted. Is it sound deadening, or
I
you
took
took that
all
all
that
off?
out.
See,
Yeah.
so that's another reason.
Hmm.
But how about like your favorite part? What's your favorite part? Like something that's maybe something that means something to you, something that's sentimental, or like something like your best
Man,
part on the car that means something to you?
it's probably my fog lights on this car right here, cause I integrated it from my old EF hatch, and I had those fog lights from the homie Mike G. Cause
Okay.
I bought my front end from my very first car, which was my silver EF hatch back in the day, and I just like the look, and those are probably my favorite part
Yeah.
of the car or favorite piece.
For me, knowing this car, my favorite part of this car is the center garnish that lights up. So we'll show you guys that in a
I like
second.
that
But
part too.
that's one of my favorite parts of the build. All right, let's get into the interior. So, what made you? I mean, I know you got the Mugen wheels.
Hmm.
So, what made you go gutted with the bucket seats and no carpet? Is there carpet in there?
There's carpet in there. I got most of my inspiration from the homie Mai and Jay, cause they did their car like a race car type of look. So, every time I seen their cars, Mai had his white Integra, all painted up, inside and out, and that was something I always wanted to do. And Jay Ryan had his EG hatch. Everyone knows that he always does a DAP purple hatch all the time. So like, I always wanted to paint the insides of it too, and that's what got my inspiration from, you know, doing that. And
So what? So are those the first bucket seats you put in there, or how'd that work out?
man, when I first built this car, I went through a lot of stages. I had red SRDs in there. I was still trying to get a feel of what I wanted my car to look like stuff. So I went through like SRDs, black Recaro seats, you know, SR3s, and then I ended up doing the Mugen theme because I really like that theme. It's an older brand, and it just kind of went with the flow with the
Yeah,
car,
it
and
goes with the flow, the
yeah,
black with the red, and those are not cheap seats. The seats, one of those seats probably costs more than the car.
yeah, man. Stuff is
So
getting
how'd
big
you
in.
how'd you get your hands on the seats or and the wheels? Matter of fact, or like, are those the only two moving parts you have on the car? Or like
Uh, yeah, actually, and the steering wheel,
steering wheel.
and that's really it, really. But yeah, I don't know. It's just
So the wheels. Let's take on how you got your hands on the wheels, and we'll go to how you got your hands on the seats. From
the-
what I remember, you
these
did
are
you did say you had the red SRDs, and at that time you had the C28s that we made a deal from, right? So
no,
you
it
had
was
so
TEs.
you had the TEs.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he got bronze T37s from me with red SRDs. So that was one look, and switched it up to now
Hmm.
where he got the Mugens with the Mugen seats, the steering wheel, and the mirror, the
Oh,
rearview
that's
mirror
right.
cap.
Yep. I always liked the matching look. I didn't really want to do some mismatch type of theme. I always like to stick to one type of theme and just you know show it out like that. So I thought the Mugen seats look good and the Mugen wheels look good with the car.
So what do you?
These wheels are very old, so they look pretty nostalgic on older Hondas like
Yeah.
these.
So what do you plan to do next, or is the car done, or do you have any other plans with it, or like maybe little things, big things?
Man, I really want to supercharge it, but not this motor. I want to do another motor on the side. Probably just
Would
you
it be
know
the same build?
it'll probably be about this, yeah, close to the same build and get it supercharged up and just leave it like that. Really, just a little
Okay.
bit more power than what it is than an all motor.
So the motor right now it's making
It makes about 212 and 144 torque.
144 torque.
Yeah, tuned by reliable ranchers. Shout out to Dexter.
So let's get to like the car looks great. The car looks good, but everybody knows that nothing's perfect. So, what was like the worst problem you had with this car? Something that got to you and that always happened, or
Man, I'm gonna be honest with you. I always like to paint, or not really like to paint, but like I always wanted to paint my own car,
yeah,
and that was probably like the worst struggle because like um, you never know how the outcome comes out when you paint a car, and you never know what you did right or what you did wrong, really. And I think probably just the paint was probably like my most like
pet peeve.
pet peeve about
Yeah,
you know making the car look right because paint is everything to a car, you know,
Yeah.
in my eyes, and that's what makes the car too. So I
So
think
you
that's
kind of got that lowrider feeling of building a Honda, where like the
hmm
paint has to be
it just has to be
immaculate.
on point. I mean, this is my first car I ever painted, so this is not really a perfect paint job, but you know, there's stuff I left that could be better, and you know, I like to address it in the future. But right now, you know,
So during the process of the paint job, were there any runs or were there anything that you ran into where something was too
yeah,
light, too dark,
yeah, of
no
course,
clear on it?
yeah, of course, I got a lot of runs. I guess yeah, this is my first car I ever painted, but you know, I was painting a couple other stuff too. Um, you know, friend stuff to practice on and stuff like that, and that's where I got most of my runs from. But yeah.
And when you did say that this is the first car you ever painted, did you start off by painting cars or was it like small pieces like a front lip, like wheels maybe?
Man, yeah, you know, started painting friend stuff like, hey, you know, buy the paint. Let me see what I can do. Let me just go, you know, bought a cheap gun from Harbor Freight and just learn like that.
Yeah.
And I actually painted this engine bay with a cheap Harbor Freight gun.
It looks good.
Yeah, it came
It
out
looks
cool.
good. So let's go on to let's go back to the backyard boogie thing. So let's tell everybody what like backyard boogie is and like what you guys do.
Man, honestly, I really didn't know what it was in the beginning. I just wanted to make a little thing for our homies because you know, shout out to all the homies that always came in the backyard with me, kept me company. You know, we always was working on cars all the time in the backyard. You know, you know how it is when you're just hanging out with your friends. You just barbecuing, hanging around, messing around, just doing car stuff. You know, they bring the car in, we just work on their car, and really that's how it all started. So that's why we kind of um, turned it into that.
So what made you want to start doing the whole clothing thing for the backyard boogie and start going to shows and have your own banners and was it like to show off the cars or did you just have a thing for clothing?
Man, I felt like I had a thing for clothing too, but I just didn't know how to like push it out.
Push it out, yeah.
Like I always had an idea, like man, I always want to do a clothing brand. I always want to do you know, I always wanted to cut hair or like, I always, you know, I always wanted to build my own whip, and I guess that was just kind of a way for me like to express on you know, how to make clothing in that kind of way, like car culture type clothing, or like, you know, it didn't. I didn't want it to be really big like car clothing, like, but like, you know, it was like a good start to, you know,
Yeah.
make something happen.
And it worked out well, right?
Yeah.
So now what like it's kind of the end of summer already, but what do you have plans for like events or like what do you do for events? Because we if nobody knows, the last event they had was a pretty big turnout. So let's talk about how that went and what do you plan on doing to make things better or like maybe improving on things.
Man, what sparked to do events was like, you know, we're always doing car stuff, but like, uh, what else can we do from outside of it? So it's like, shout out to Casper, because if it wasn't for him, we wouldn't be doing events like how we were doing. Our last event was crazy, and we dedicated that to him. And man, I don't know, we just thought a car event would have been cool for the car people, and just bringing, you know, family and friends together, and like, you know,
Yeah, so I remember before I think the first summer classics meet you guys did was just technically a car meet, and you guys wanted to spruce it up and did bouncy houses for the kids, uh, barbecue and food for an ice cream for everybody and families. Uh, this year you had a bunch of different vendors. Even like last year you did have vendors, but this time you had
yeah.
more vendors, and even had people doing shows
Man, I
and
guess
rapping and singing.
yeah, I guess you could say we just like to support small businesses like that, because you know that's kind of how what we are. You know, I
Yeah,
guess you could say we're like a small business. We like to work on cars. We like to make money like that, and it was kind of a way to express, you know, to the community like, oh, let's get some other vendors or other companies that can come, and kind of we can support them as well, and
yeah,
you know,
help
make
them
it
grow.
turn into an event, make it, you know, make something happen for the community, and that's how we got the idea from,
Okay,
stuff like that.
cool. So moving forward, if you guys don't know Backyard Boogie, check them out. They're always doing something. They always got something going on. If you need work done, if you need paint work done, or if you need a haircut, you need a haircut. Big Ben's the man. But
One
yeah,
stop
man,
shop.
one stop shop. He's you know what's that called? Fuck.
Stay busy or get busy.
Yo, Swiss knife,
Swiss knife. Oh,
or what's that called?
a multi tool.
Yeah, the multi tool. So yeah,
He was trying to
we
get
can cut
clever
that
with
out.
it.
Yeah, I was trying to get clever with it. I was trying to keep rolling with that, but yeah. All right. So Big Ben, man, I appreciate you being on the show, being on the list, being our first guest, first episode.
Yeah, appreciate you having me.
So we'll, if you guys do want to follow Espen Mala, Backyard Boogie, continue to follow him. He's got a lot of things he's working on. He's always improving on things. So if you guys like what you guys see, support and he supports. Like he said, he'll support small businesses if you guys support his small business, and it's just up from here, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, yeah. So Big Ben, man, thanks for being on the list, being our first guest, first episode. But before we leave, I want to ask you, what's something motivational or something you can give to the viewers and the peers watching this?
Something motivational. If you have a hobby, stick to it and bring it to a bigger scale. Because if you like doing it, uh, why stop doing it? You can also make money from it. You know what I'm saying? Like my first thing was cutting hair, and I was making. It was started as a hobby. This car stuff also started as a hobby as well, and like I think everything starts from a hobby, and you can always bring that to a higher scale, which can also make you more money.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I want to add on from me knowing you all these years, like it's always trial and error, and you won't you learn to live and you live to learn, so you won't
Mm-hmm.
know until you try. So don't be afraid to face whatever you want and go for whatever you want.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, cause nothing was perfect what I did, but I always liked to do it. Cutting hair, I liked it. I wasn't good at it, and then throughout the years you gain experience and you get better. I always liked that because you're just hanging with your homies and stuff like that. You gun them up, just chopping them up. Car stuff, you same thing as well. You're hanging out with your homies, working on our cars, making it look better. It starts as a hobby, and uh, there's always a way to make it better than your next. So
And that
that's
that and for you, sometimes I remember you would cut people up in the shop and
hmm
then turn around and work on the car after that. So it wasn't like a job to you. It was just
it wasn't, man. It
a
was,
hobby on top of a hobby.
yeah. So whatever that brings that fire into you, whatever you do, if you like to work out, keep doing it. Turn it into something as most of this, all this stuff right here was just like passion. So it's not really like I wanted to make money out of it, but eventually, when you start working on other people's cars, you want to paint this, you paint that, you got to get better, right? Now you got to pay for my skill. So that's how everything ended up. So as you get better, that's how you get. That's how some ways you can get paid.
Big Ben, Esvin Mala, first episode, the list.